Hi, this is
urgent and disturbing immigration news.
Breaking news.
If you're a green card holder traveling in 2025, you need to hear this.
Green card holders are being placed in removal proceedings.
You should not travel out.
This isn't how I thought this was gonna go. Horrible, bad. The question that this man asked me, I was like, what is he talking about? Did that just happen? So you've watched part one, you saw when the camera was cut off, and you'd like to know what really happened as I came through US Customs and Immigration on that day. I'm not gonna hold you guys. I'm about to answer your question. Very, very detailed. Tell you exactly what went down, how it went down, and for how long. Let's go. Hi guys, I am back with another video. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're an OG, you already know me.
Welcome back.
A lot of you viewing right now are not new viewers necessarily because you probably came from part one. If you haven't watched part one, go ahead. Just so you can have a full idea of what I'm talking about and get caught up completely. You're not lost. So if you've watched part one, this is part two. And if you haven't watched part one, go ahead and then come back to part two. So basically, yeah, I'm just gonna give a full detailed rundown of what really happened as I was coming through US Customs and Immigration as a green card holder from my recent trip in Jamaica in March. So I've been posting about my trip basically, and it stemmed a lot of questions. Persons who are curious, you know, so they want to know, were you brought to secondary questioning? Were you detained? How long was the process? Was there anything out of the norm that happened this time around versus any other time trying to re-enter the US as a green card holder? Because I'm sure you all have been seeing all the fear-mongering that's happening on the internet in particular social media, TikTok, this, that, and the third. So I'm here to give the people what they want. I'm here to answer all the questions I've been getting. No holding back, details, step by step. Y'all about to have a story. So get your popcorn, hold your seat, and let's go. Okay, so let's start with the night before the trip. So the night before the trip, you know, you get that little reminder 24 hours before your flight that you're able to check in. No, I'm checking in with United Airlines, and I got the reminder. And at this point, obviously, I'm still in Jamaica. So my mom's there packing my stuff, my brother and I remember, oh, I got the reminder from earlier in the day. So when I got the reminder, she's packing while I'm getting my documents ready to upload my passport and my green card because I want to get my boarding pass. So I wasn't going to check any bags returning to the US. So I knew if I got my boarding pass now, I would just go directly through customs. I'm there scanning my stuff, taking the pictures. Now at first, the passport was accepted, the green card wasn't. And I was just, the anxiety started to build, guys. I'm not gonna lie. The anxiety was building a little because I'm just like, ooh. You know, when it got rejected, it said, oh, please see an agent when you get to the airport or something like that. And I was just like, see an agent? I don't want to see an agent because I don't know how much you guys watch from the previous videos, like I keep mentioning, but in my previous videos, I mentioned that my green card was on the verge of expiring. Like it had a few more hours on it, yeah, until it was not valid. So I knew that. So me taking the picture and trying to get the documents uploaded from the night before was a way of me kind of easing the tension that was building, you know, the anxiety that was building. I kept reattempting, and honestly it was just the lighting that was bad when I was first taking a picture of the green card, because the more I attempted, then I got the little check mark to say you're all checked in, everything looks great. Then I got my boarding pass. I honestly, you know, breathe a sigh of relief because I'm like, oh, okay, so at least these were accepted now. All right, boom. So fast forward, now it's the next day, we're at the airport. My brother and I, we're also leaving the same day, but now we've gotten separated from Jamaica because he's going to a whole different state than I'm going to. He doesn't live in New Jersey, I live in New Jersey, and we're on two different flights, two different everything. So we're traveling by ourselves now at this point.
Hey guys, I just landed. I look so rough, but don't worry about that. So I am going to go through customs and immigration now and let's see if what they've been saying is true. And green card holders have been getting a hard time getting into the country, like just like that, like without anything else, a legit cause. So let's go and find out. I'll definitely give my feedback in another video, but let's see. All right.
So prior to talking to you guys in that final clip of part 1, you come off the flight, the plane has landed, everyone comes off the flight, and you're all scrambling to get to US Customs. The first thing you hear is a lady shouting, right? She's like, "Visitors, go over here! Permanent residents, citizens, Canadian nationals, come to the middle! Global entry, to the right!" And she's repeating the same thing over and over. Now when I hear this woman, I'm like, whoop! Because she is loud. Imagine like a stampede of people walking in this particular direction, and then you come upon this like small lady but powerful voice, because she was short but her voice was powerful, and she's facing you because she's expecting the crowd that's like a stampede of us from several different flights coming, and we're all like trying to figure out, like she's repeating the stuff, so we're all trying to figure out, oh, I'm a visitor, I'm going to the left. Oh, I'm a permanent resident, I'm a citizen, or I'm a Canadian national, I'm going here. I'm a global, I have global entry, I'm going here. And she's just repeating it over and over and over. Again, US citizens, permanent resident, Canadian nationals, come to the middle. Visitors, to the right. Global. She's saying it so loud. That kind of got me shook. Cause no, at this point I'm like, oh, okay girl, this is real. It's about to go down. You were too calm before. You were too. I was like, oh, okay. Now I started to get the nerves, because I was like, I don't like how she's talking so intense. I was like, is she talking to me? Why is she shouting at me? She was loud, and I'm trying not to let all these people go in front of me, but at the same time the nerves started to build up. Your girl gotta pee. I saw the restroom and I went right in. That's when I kind of like got myself together, and I'm talking to myself and I'm praying in my head the entire time, because like I said, now the nerves started to kick in, and I'm like, Tass, keep calm, don't worry about it, keep calm, Tass, breathe. Fixed my hair, because I'm just like, you know what, whatever I'm about to face out there, whatever is about to happen, at least I don't need to look like the worst. Like, I know you're tired, I know it's late, but that's when I pulled out the camera and I spoke to you guys and said, I'm about to find out. So that was the last clip of part 1, and then I shut the camera off. While in the bathroom, that's when I also got my documents together. I wanted to put my passport and my green card together. And I also had a very important document on me at the time too. So remember I said that my green card was about to expire, and I knew that. I had my extension letter on me. So I won't go too much into extension letters and how to get them, blah blah blah, but just know that green cards have expiration dates. Prior to your green card expiring, there's a few steps. There are things that you need to do, things that you need to get done to extend the validity or extend the life of your green card, and that I had to do before my trip, because I knew my trip was coming up and I wanted to be on the safe side. So was my green card expired at the time of coming into America? No, it wasn't. They had a few hours of validity left on it, but I also knew that it was about time. So prior to my trip, I had ensured that I had gotten my green card extended, and hence you don't get, when your green card is extended, you don't get another green card while your case is still being processed. What you get is an extension letter, like the one on screen here, and it basically reads that it extends the validity of your green card from the date your green card expires, right? And currently USCIS is issuing extension letters for 48 months, and that equates to 4 years. Let's get back to the bathroom scene. So I had my passport, I had my green card, which was still valid, and I had my extension letter, just in case your girl was gonna come back into the country after her green card was expired. She was on the safe side. Yeah, all right. I had this across like this, I had these inside, and then I had the extension letter like in the pocket of the cargo pants. Okay, so when I gathered myself, I stepped out the bathroom, and remember I told you this lady is still like shouting her commands, who is to go where, who is to go there, this, that, and the third. So of course I fell into the category of US citizen, PR, and permanent resident, and Canadian nationals. I think we were all in the same line. Everyone else had a different queue. So I was in the middle, and I am observing every single thing. From the minute I stepped off that plane, all my senses were on high alert. Like I'm taking notice of every single thing that's happening, what's being said, what's not being said. Like I'm reading like the tension in the room. I'm like feeding off everything that's happening. So as the line is progressing, again, the airport packed. Global entry line is long. The line that I'm in is super long, and then visitors, they went somewhere that I couldn't really see. And you have the persons who monitor the lines, and they're standing around separate from like the officers, the immigration officers that are at the cubicles. You have the persons who are manning the lines, and they're standing around and telling you, they're cutting off the lines and saying, oh, 8 persons go here, you go here, da 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 da. They're doing their thing, they're doing their job, right? So there was a lot of that happening. So now fast forward, the line's moving, I'm moving with the line. I have noticed nothing out of the ordinary, right? To be honest, everything was just running smoothly. The lines were long, but they were like moving, and I was just moving with them. Yeah, the global entry line though, like I said, I am observing every single thing. I'm on high alert. So I remember, right? So I'm like this. So global entries to my left, I'm in the middle, and then to the right would have been, I guess, where they're processing the visitors, US visitors. So I'm there moving in my middle line, and the global entry officer, the immigration officer that's doing global entry, he's just standing. He's not even sitting in his little cubicle. He's standing at the front, and I only hear
next. Step forward more, please. Next.
And people just walk up to this thing, and they're like, and I'm like, wait,
That's global entry?
I was like, wait, is that what my brother is going through right now? Because he has global entry, and he's always encouraging me to get global entry, but I never saw the purpose. But when I saw that, I was like, what are you not telling me? I was like, wait. He was just like on his little literally a tablet.
Next.
They walk up to this screen, and it flashes red or green or whatever, and like I said, I'm very observant. Flashes red or green, and he's like,
Next. Step more, please. Next.
So for those who don't know, global entry is something that you can get if you're a permanent resident or a US citizen, and also I think persons who are nationals from a few other countries. Like there's a select few of other countries that you are able to get global entry. Say something that you apply for, blah blah blah. That's a whole other video. I'll be getting it soon. So that line was a mixture of both US citizens and green card holders, and based on my observation, there was no separation of who is who based on your status. So again, that line was running smoothly. Up to this point, I have noticed nothing out of the ordinary. It's your regular airport type immigration scenario. Then this is what happened next. So I remember this lady that was, so she's with her family, this lady that was in front of me, and why she stood out is because of the question that she asked. Now this lady is with her husband and her children, and remember I told you that you have the persons who are manning the lines, you know, who work at the airport as well. I don't know their proper title. And I remember this lady called one of the young ladies over who was working and, you know, manning the lines, and this is what she asked her. Now, when she asked her this question, I was like, oh my gosh, this lady knows what's up. She's scared. She is scared. She is scared for her husband, because the question she asked, I was like, oh my goodness. So the wife calls the worker over, and I'm right behind them. I'm right behind the family, so I can hear everything. She calls the worker over and she says,
Is there somewhere separate that my husband should go to because he's a green card holder?
no, when she asked that, my mouth dropped without dropping, because I'm behind these people trying to act like I'm not eavesdropping, but I definitely was like, what you say now? Because I'm like, oh, she's scared. She is scared for her husband. I'm like, girl, protect your man. Yeah, protect your man. Protect your baby daddy. Yeah, girl. No, seriously, I was like, you go, girl. Because the man never dare ask no question. He's just standing there, you know, tall guy, lovely family. But she's like, clearly, she's like, yeah, I'm not leaving here without my husband. So y'all better tell me and my 3 kids, them now come out of the airport without my husband. Yeah, me not care. Let me stop. Let's get back on track. Let me stop. No, but I was like, I was kind of impressed. I was impressed, and I was also intrigued, because whatever answer she's about to get, I need to know too, because honey, we're rolling in the same boat. Make space. Now when she asked that, right, the worker said, oh, I'm not sure, let me find out. So that kind of told me, girl, there's nothing that you need to know, because think about it, they work there. So if there was something that needed to be known that was different for us, the workers would know. And again, at this point, all I kept hearing was next. There was no one saying, oh, if you're a green card holder, go here. Green card holders were mixed with citizens, and they were mixed with Canadian nationals. We were all bundled together. You don't know who is who from who is not who. Yeah, but me still cut my ears, because at the same time, I want to hear the answer. So the worker was very nice. She's like, I'm not sure. And I saw her go to like an officer or someone, and she came back. And then she said to the lady, she's like, no, this is where you stay. And I'm behind her like, yeah, I know that's right. Because I'm like, oh, okay. Listen, I'm behind these people behaving like I'm not like stressed and listening. People, I'm just playing it cool. I'm like poker face, girl. I'm there like, so anyways, again, the line is moving. Now, you know, they start separating off the line. So you have all the immigration officers lined out in the different cubicles. So say I have like, you know, 4, 5, 6, whatever. So now they start, so this is a big line, and now they start separating it so that it would say the next 4 go to officer number 2, the next 4 go to officer number 3, you know, the different cubicles, officer, and that's how they start separating, like 4 by 4 or 6 by 6, something like that, I don't remember. And so they cut it off wherever. So the couple, the family, the lady with the 3 kids and her boo, they had gone to a different officer. So it so happens that when they kept saying next, and I was like stepping with them, the worker, she stopped me. She sent them to one officer that was down the end, and then she's like, no, you go here. So I went to a different officer. I kind of wanted to go where she's going, because I'm like, okay, at least I know he's a green card holder. Anyone else, I can't tell. I mean, we don't have a stamp on our forehead. So I'm like, at least I know he's a green card holder. I want to go where he's going. But, you know, I got stopped. So I was like, all right, Cass, here it goes now. You have to be the sacrificial lamb. Yeah, you have to be the sacrificial lamb. Always. Don't cry. Anyways, I'm just like, why? So she sent me
to a different officer. So when I went over, there was another family in front of me. This mom with like quality bikini, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 bikini. She had a lot of kids, and they were citizens. I could tell there was this couple behind me, right? I assumed they were also citizens. I'm gonna tell you why I assumed that. Hold on. So remember again. So because I really thought I was about to be the sacrificial lamb, now my anxiety is growing even more. I literally like kept talking to myself in my head. I kept praying, and now I kind of started to, you know, go on the defensive side. Like I started to ask myself questions in my head and also answer the questions, because let's backtrack to October of 2024 when I also traveled to Jamaica. So traveled to Jamaica in October of 2024 with my husband, US citizen, right? Boom. We're coming back again through New York, and coming through, once you travel internationally, you have to come through US Customs and Border Patrol, blah, 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 immigration. Coming through. The officer said next. When the officer said next, so we're talking about October. When he said next, my husband and I came to his cubicle, and I handed in my documents. And as a green card holder, every green card holder, no matter how long you've been a green card holder, whatever, don't listen to whatever the internet, because I saw some rubbish on the internet about this part. Every green card holder, this has always been the rule. You have to do fingerprints. Citizens of America don't do fingerprints. Once you're a green card holder, your fingerprint, your biometric is always taken. Always taken. So I'm not sure where other persons saw other information and thought this was new since 2025. Based on my knowledge, it's not. So handed this man in October my documents, again, passport and green card, and you know, doing my fingerprint. I'm in a shirt that says Jamaica, and I know on the computer that they have in front of them, it stated the length of our stay. Now this man looks at me. He wasn't rude or anything, you know, but it was just kind of like, really? This man looks at me and says, where are you coming from? So I said, Jamaica. Because I'm like, is this a trick question? Then he says, how long did you stay? And he's asking me all the questions. My husband is standing right there, but my husband hasn't handed him his passport as yet, right? So I guess he's dealing with us individually. So okay, fine, whatever. So he's like, how long did you stay? And I looked to my husband and I looked to him and I'm like, 2 weeks? Because I'm like, is this a prank? I'm like, is this a prank? Are you serious? But of course I can't say that. But again, he wasn't rude or anything like that, don't get me wrong. It was just weird because I'm like, okay. Then he hands me my things. Then I stepped over a little to make room for my husband. Now my husband is right there, has his passport, hands it to the officer. The officer went like this, welcome home. And my husband is like, yeah, thank you. And I'm like, so I waited till we cleared the area. I'm looking at him like,
so what am I, chopped liver?
welcome home. So I'm gonna live here. What? I'm gonna live here? Show off. Like, I'm just like, he wasn't asked anything. He's a citizen, so they don't do fingerprints and when they're coming through the system. And I just felt some type of way because I'm like, you know, it's nice when you travel overseas and you're coming back and you're like, welcome home. I kind of felt jealous, I'm not gonna lie. I did. But I was just like, Tass, brush it off. Come on, you guys need to go and get out the airport, girl. But I really did. So that's October. And because that kind of awkward-ish kind of encounter happened in October, now I'm on the defensive. Fast forward now to March of 2025. And I'm literally standing in front of the officer, like in the small line in front of the officer that I'm about to approach. In my head, my anxiety has like risen. In my head, now I'm on the defensive. So I'm there, right? Remember I told you, like, there's this mom with a couple kids and she's right in front of me. Now she's gone. She's like, the guy said next, so she's ahead. And I'm standing there and I'm just like, okay, so he's about to ask me,
because I'm going off based on what happened in October. I'm like, okay, so he's about to ask me, where am I coming from? Jamaica, obviously that's Jamaica. Come on, Tess, you know this. Like, I'm in my head. And then I'm like, okay, so he's probably gonna ask me, who did I go with? And I'm like, my brother. Tess, you not with your brother. Like, obviously these things are true, but it's just like, my anxiety, I build. Tess, your brother. You know this, your brother. If they press you on that, then you say, well, you can look it up, but don't say too rude. Don't say too rude. Don't be too rude. But yeah, your brother. What was the purpose of your trip? Emergency visit, emergency trip to see my mom. So again, you went to Jamaica, you went with your brother, and you went to visit your mom. Yes. How long did you spend? You spent 5 days, right? Yeah. I'm rehearsing. So while I'm rehearsing, my head is kind of down because I already looked ahead and saw the officer that I'm about to approach. The family has already stepped towards him, but I'm in my head and I'm literally there praying and also like interrogating myself. Seriously, like I am planning out the scenario, everything like that. So I remember just hearing laughter and I looked up because I'm standing there and I kind of raised my head a little and I'm like, laughter. And when the family that had gone right before me, the little girl and the officer, they were having a tremendous conversation. They were having a great conversation, right? At this point now, I've started to pay attention because at first I wasn't preying them. I'm just like, yeah. I remember the officer saying,
yeah, I never had anyone ask me that.
That was the first thing I heard him say aloud. I was like, he said,
I've never had anyone ask me that.
And then the little girl said, like, she's little. And then she's like, what did she say? She said,
Yeah, I always thought that.
and now that I recall, I think what she had asked him was,
Are you getting enough sleep?
and then he said, I've never had anyone ask me that. And then they went into a whole discussion about insomnia. And she's like,
Well, did you know?
and listen, people, this man and this little girl, they're having a full-on convo. Her mom is standing there like, like ready to go. Her siblings are there. I think they were brothers. They're like, and she is having the conversation of her life. No, that kind of made me feel at ease because think about it. You're literally about to approach this person. Your anxiety is through the roof. You've been hearing all these things on the internet. You were trying not to feed into it, but now it's really time to come to the test. I'm thinking, am I about to be the sacrificial lamb? This place has seemed cool, calm, and collected so far. There's been nothing out the norm. But are you about to be the one who is about to be made an example of? Like, seriously. When I realized that he was having a conversation with this child, I'm like, okay, he's cool. Because honestly, at this point too, I'm like, the Bible verse says it. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers. You could be having a great day. You have done nothing wrong. And then somebody who is just possessed by something else comes and tries to ruin your day. And it throws everything off. I don't want that. It's late in the night. I want to get home. I'm hungry and I am tired. No. Remember I said there was a couple behind me who I assume was also citizens. They were livid. They were upset. Especially the woman. I could tell the woman was shorter than I was, yeah? No, this is what they were saying.
Oh my gosh, of course we had to choose this guy. Oh my gosh, I'm ready to get out of here. I want to go home. I'm so tired. Why did we have to choose him? Of course we had to choose a talker. Oh,
and she is going on and on and on and on. And I am cracking up. I'm in front of them like this. Because I'm like, I am glad he's in a good mood. I want you to be in a fantastic mood. Like, we are about to go through something serious here. Be in the best mood you can be. Go ahead. Talk a little longer. I ain't got nowhere to go, bro. You're good. You're good. Go ahead. You want to take a bathroom break? Go right ahead. Go pee. No, I'm serious. This woman is cussing. And of course, you know, men, he was very like chill, but also agree with his wife or his partner. I don't know if they're married. He was like,
Yeah.
like saying very little but saying a lot. And she's going on in my ear. At one point I wanted to turn around and be like,
can you relax? It's not that serious. We're gonna get out of here.
but I was like, Tass, shut your mouth and do not cause a scene.
everything has been flowing smoothly so far. Be quiet, sit down, yeah, or stand up rather, and wait your turn. Like I said, I really wasn't upset that this man was having a conversation with this child. No, I see where he hands back the family their passport. So you know what that means. Your girl is next. And honestly, people, at this point, I got distracted with him having a conversation with a little girl, plus the couple behind me that was like really upset, going off. So it really got me to not be so much in my head about what was about to happen. And I remember the last words I spoke to myself were, Holy Spirit, guide me. That's it. And I released everything. I was just like, I mean, it is what it is. That was it. And then next, and I stepped forward. When I stepped forward, I don't know, again, if you watched part 1 and saw that I went duty-free shopping and I got some rum, blah, blah, blah. My hands were packed with the suitcase, the rum, everything. So when I stepped forward, there was this little area on the counter where you could put something down. So I remember I put in the duty-free, well, honestly, I don't even remember doing it, but I had put the duty-free rums on the counter and handed him my passport with the green card inside. The question that this man asked me threw me for a loop. I was like, what is he talking about? And he could see that I didn't know what he was talking about. Like, we were both like staring on each other like, so could you repeat that? The first thing the immigration officer asked me was, before I continue any further with the story, please subscribe. At this point of the video, please subscribe. Please like. Comment a question that you want to ask that I haven't answered so far. And share this video with someone else that you know will find it helpful, whether they're a green card holder, citizen, resident, or national of another country, but they're just curious and want the knowledge, you know what I mean? Or the free entertainment. Okay, let's continue.
Is that all the rum you have?
And I gave this man the blankest stare. In my mind, I'm like, rum, what rum? So he could tell that I didn't understand what he was asking me. So he's looking at me, I'm looking at him. We're both looking at each other like, huh? So his eyes moved towards the duty-free box that I had with the rum, again, that I had placed on the counter and totally forgot. I did that so mindlessly. So his eyes went like this. And I was like, oh, yes. And when I answered, right, I'm still in my head like, is it all or not? Do I have more rum? Maybe I do have some. Should I say something? I'm just like, just calm down. Calm down, girl. I remember I already gave my documents. He's flipping through, doing his thing. So I saw where he kind of shifted the scanner, which I knew the drill. It meant fingerprint. So while that is happening, this man is multitasking because now he's about to spark up a conversation with me. So he's like, yeah, I'm really sorry about that little girl. She was chatty, huh? And I was like, yeah, I heard you guys. Because I'm going with the flow with this convo. I'm like, wherever you're going, I'm going too. So yeah, just keep the conversation going, Tass. But I'm still on the edge. I'm still like on the defensive because I'm like, what you coming with? What you coming with now? Don't try to be my friend now, okay? Okay, because I'm watching you. So he's like, yeah, I'm sorry about that little girl. She was chatty. Because he's saying like basically, you know, for the line or da. He's like, I'm sorry about that little girl. Yeah, she was chatty. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's fine. I heard you guys. Yeah, she's smart. Yeah, you guys were talking about insomnia. He's like, yeah, but I've never had anyone asking me that. But he's multitasking. So while he's talking, baby, I'm like, he's like, he's talking to me. He's on the computer doing his little thing, flipping through my passport 50 million times, taking my green card and doing this a bunch of times. He's giving me the thumbs up when the thing cleared for this thumb or this hand. Then it was time to do the next, because you know the monitor that they have is turned away from the traveler, so I can't see what he's seeing. So he's looking at it, giving me the thumbs up,
I know now it's the next hand. Then he's like, press your thumb harder. Then he's like, then he's talking. So this is happening all at the same time. And I'm like, yeah, I heard you guys. It's fine. Yeah, she's smart. And I'm there like, so what's next? Because I'm like, yeah, I'm like, oh, so what's next? Because remember, I had built up in my head what I was about to be asked. So the fact that he didn't ask me what I initially thought he was gonna ask me, that threw me for a loop. I'm like, oh, I was not prepared for that one. But it was fine. Wait, this isn't how I thought this was gonna go. But I'm rolling with it, rolling with the punches now. Remember, I had my cross bag on me like this, and I had the sanitizer thing, you know, hanging off. So I saw him like fixing the camera. So I knew the picture was next. And then he said to me, is that a sanitizer? So I am so like agitated and expecting something crazy that I'm like, oh yeah, would you like me to take it off? I'm like, yeah, would you like me to take it off? Because I saw him kept messing with the camera. So I thought the thing was in the picture. So it shouldn't be, but that's not what happened. Let me tell you what happened. Do you want me to take it off?
No, I'm just curious. It looks like an iPhone, doesn't it?
And I never realized how much these look like an iPhone with just the one other thing here. So when he said it, I'm like, yeah, it does. Yeah, you're right. So I said that, and there was like this few seconds of silence. And I was like, Taz, keep the conversation going. I'm in my head, guys. I'm like, Taz, keep the conversation going. Keep the conversation going. And then I was like, you can put anything in it, really. You could put perfume. You could have sanitizer. He's like,
yeah, it's really cool. That's what I'm thinking. Those are really cool.
And while I'm saying that, right, he's like, I'm like, what is he typing? What is he typing? He's typing away. And then I was like, I kept talking, right? I was like, yeah, it comes out as a mist. And he's like,
yeah, I realize.
And I'm like, oh, okay. Because at this point, I'm still like, when are the hard questions gonna come? Like, what is happening? What is happening? Then, when the conversation about the sanitizer kind of died down, he still kept like flipping the green card back and forth and looking at the screen, typing. No, remember I told you guys that I had my extension letter on me in the pocket of my cargo pants, right? Tell me why I wanted to jump and volunteer that.
It expires soon. I have my extension letter right here. Would you like to see it?
Listen, the Holy Spirit said, shut up. Nobody asked you anything? No. Answer what you were asked. Shut up. Stop volunteer information. Shut up. The man never asked if you nothing. The man is a bright man. He's smart. He sees the date of the expiration. He knows how to read a green card. This is not his first rodeo. He didn't ask you.
Do you have your extension letter, ma'am?
He never asked you that. So why would you go and volunteer that you have an extension letter? Shut up your mouth. Shut up your mouth. This was how, like, I was going back and forth in my head. Because what? Because I got a little nervous, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Because at this point, we were cool now. But it's like, why you keep flipping my thing, bro? Like, what are you looking for? Why you keep typing on that screen? What are you typing? Like, my name isn't that long. What are you typing? Like, come on now. I saw him like this and I'm like, do you want my extension letter? So I can go? Please. That's what my brain was telling me to say. And I had to shut it down. Shut up. Answer what you were asked. For anything else, zip it. So I kept my cool because I'm really like talking to myself like, shut up your mouth. So I saw when he flip. I'm like, don't say. Then he goes like this and he says,
Here you go.
and when he gave them back to me, right, I took it and I'm like, no, this man is done with me.
He's looking ahead. He's clearly about to call the miserable couple that was behind me, because can you imagine how miserable they were when they saw the exchange between us? Clearly done with me. But I'm standing there still expecting this whole encounter to be worst. It wasn't even bad, so I can't even say worse. I was expecting it to be horrible, bad, right? I was not expecting this. I really was expecting this encounter to be something else. Like, I was not prepared for this. I really wasn't. I wasn't prepared. When he handed the things back to me, I stood there for a few seconds and I was just like, that's it? The man didn't even answer me. Not in a rude way, no. He was just like, and I was like, thank you. And I grabbed up my rum that was on the counter, grabbed my bag, took my thing and pulled all the way over to the end towards the bin. Once you go through that, your next exit is through the door, ground transport and baggage claim. I walked over to the trash can that was right there at the stairs, and I was so, guys, I was so surprised. I was just like, I couldn't believe what had just happened. Like, I was in shock. Like, in a good way. I was in shock. I was in total disbelief. I'm not even kidding you. I was in total disbelief, right? So I called my husband because I had spoken to him prior to joining the line. So I was like, have you left out as it? And he's like, oh, I'm just about to. And I'm like, well, the lines are about to be super long and I really don't know if they're about to have me for secondary and if they're about to like interrogate me and ask me a bunch of stuff. So when I came through, and I came through very quickly, I called this man and I said, I'm through. And I was like, they didn't ask me anything. And he's like, oh, I'm almost there, I'm not there yet. And I'm like, oh, okay, take your time. And I call my mom right after. Of course I call my mom and I'm like, Mom, I'm good. Because of course my mom was worried. Typical Jamaican mother. She have watched everything on TikTok. She watched the news. She's worried for her kids. She's such a mom, yeah? Worried. Guys, I know it may sound longer, but from the minute I stepped up to the counter to actually start being interrogated by the officer, the entire experience took under 2 minutes or just there about 2 minutes. It really sounded longer because of all that was happening in the moment. I was not standing there for 2 minutes. I really wasn't. I really wasn't standing there for 2 minutes. And if I was, it was just about 2 minutes. I wasn't brought for secondary interrogation. The officer that I had didn't even ask me anything about my trip, and if he did, that wouldn't have been out the norm, because remember I told you about the officer in October, and that's the usual. Our conversation was really about hand sanitizer and rum, and the rum conversation was just to find out if I had other rum on my person. I was really overthinking the process. I have to share this. I don't know how many of you guys are believers in Jesus Christ. I am a believer, and it would be so wrong of me not to take this opportunity to share something with you guys, you know, just to put your faith in God, just to trust and believe in him. There's nothing that's happening now under the sun that is new, that he doesn't know of, that he never, none of this surprises him, right? This fear-mongering, this chaos, this all of what's happening on social media, in the news, this, that, and the third, there's nothing that is taking him off guard. Like nothing. Like there's absolutely nothing, right? So put your trust in him, put your faith in him. Also, what I would say, before I say that, before I move on, you know, and maybe that's why I wasn't as worried. My anxiety did start to build at different points throughout the process. But I was just really like, it is what it is. God's got me. And remember the last thing I said before I stepped forward and spoke to the officer? I said, Holy Spirit, be with me, or Holy Spirit, guide me. That's literally what I said before I stepped to the officer when he said next, right? Because at this point, I'm just like, girl, come on, relax. Relax. I was overthinking everything, right? So put your faith in God, not man, nobody else.
Also, take whatever anyone says with a grain of salt, especially persons on social media. If you want to take what I say with a grain of salt, go right ahead. No, I have no reason to lie to you guys. I've given you guys facts, but I am man also, so take whatever persons have said with a grain of salt, right? You guys can pick sense out of nonsense. I've seen videos, and that is why I was particular about doing a video surrounding this topic, because I was like, the persons who wanted to drive fear had no issue releasing their videos. So the persons who had a positive experience should also not be fearful releasing their video, because everybody else are released their video. So why not someone who experienced it from a positive light, right? And with that also, I saw another person saying, oh, when you're going through customs and trying to rate into the US as a green card holder, they give you a document to sign right in front of them, and you sign away your rights and they cut up your green card right in front of you. That never happened. I never witnessed that the entire time going through the line, and I was in that line for a good while before I got to the officer. I never experienced it once. Not in the global entry line, which was running quicker and smoother. Not in my line. None of the lines I ever witnessed that. There was no cutting up of green card. There was no sign this waiver. There was no one being whisked away to the back. I never saw anyone even being spoken to like loudly or harshly. The only person that was speaking loud was the lady at the front directing the traffic. And she was just speaking to a crowd of people, because like I said, it was like a stampede of us coming down towards her. That was it. She was the loudest one. There was no cutting up of cards. And this is not to downplay anyone else's experience, because this is from my personal experience. This is not legal advice. But I'm just saying, read into things, pick sense out of nonsense, and take what anyone says with a grain of salt. So guys, if you have any more questions, please go ahead and drop it in the comments below. I will do my very, very best to answer. I will definitely engage with you guys and answer those questions. I don't know if there's anything that was not said that you'd like to know about. I feel like I spoke at length, chat too much, and told you every single detail. Again, don't forget to subscribe. You guys are not subscribing. I don't know why. Like, y'all don't like me or something. Why not? Anyways, you know, I'm tired. I'm ready to go to bed. Anyways, but yeah, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and leave some comments. Like up the video. Like it helps a lot. Liking is free. Yeah, it's free. Me not charging. No, YouTube is not charging. Yeah, like the video, subscribe. Gotta come DM me privately to ask me questions when the comment section is open. Like if it's something very, 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 very personal, okay, fine. But if it's like something that's general information that other people would benefit from, I mean, why not?